Deep in the heart of the ancient Eldren Forest, where the trees loomed like silent sentinels and shadows danced to the tune of the wind, there was an old cabin. The villagers of nearby Aylford spoke in hushed tones about its inhabitant, a man named Elias, who had moved there after the tragic loss of his family. They said Elias had summoned the forest spirits in his grief, and that something had answered. Something dark. One stormy evening, a young woman named Clara, driven by relentless curiosity and a desire for the truth, set out to find the cabin despite the villagers' warnings. As she ventured deeper into the forest, the trees seemed to close in around her, and an unsettling silence replaced the usual forest symphony. Clara stumbled upon the cabin just as the sky cracked open with lightning, illuminating the decaying structure. She knocked on the door, and to her surprise, it creaked open by itself. Inside, the air was thick with the scent of damp wood in decay. Cobwebs hung like veils from the corners, and the floorboards groaned under her weight. Clara called out, "Elias," but only the echo of her own voice replied. She moved further inside, her heart pounding. In one corner, she found a table cluttered with old books and strange artifacts. One particularly ancient tome lay open, its pages filled with indecipherable symbols and drawings of twisted, monstrous figures. Clara shuddered but felt compelled to decipher its secrets. As she reached for the book, a cold hand gripped her wrist. She spun around, eyes wide with terror, to face a gaunt figure with hollow eyes and a haunting presence. It was Elias, or what remained of him. "You shouldn't have come here," he whispered, his voice like the rustling of dead leaves. Clara's mind raced, panic setting in. "What happened to you?" she managed to choke out. Elias's gaze bore into hers, and in that moment, she saw flashes of his torment, visions of dark rituals, of sinister forces unleashed. "The forest keeps its secrets," he said, releasing her. "But it demands a price." Clara backed away, her instincts screaming at her to run, but her body felt frozen. The cabin seemed to warp around her, the shadows growing longer, more menacing. Elias reached out once more, his fingers brushing her cheek. "Leave while you still can," he urged, his eyes pleading. Clara shook off her paralysis and bolted for the door, desperate to escape the suffocating dread.